Hello everyone, it's DA here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you are doing amazing. Often we come across that oh shit moments in Warframe, and I know a lot of you experience those daily, where you either get out of the way to save your skin, or you get wrecked, or you actually have to push a group of enemies backwards to give yourself some room to reload, to recover, or to get yourself to extraction, and it happens every single time. Now there are a series of fun and great ability augments that you can use whenever you're in a tight spot. Basically, your get out of trouble augments. And just like the usual Warframe tradition, we have to be able to kill two birds with one stone. So if you can kill it, if it won't die enough, you can either knock it unconscious to make things a little bit easier, you can roll them off a cliff, or you can just launch them off the edge. Now my favorites of the bunch for the augments and the abilities will be Rhino, Chroma, and Wukong. Now not only are these abilities and augments very useful, they can also give you that begone moment, that thing that gives you that edge in Warframe, and can also be the difference between a successful mission and a failed one, because from time to time you get against that unworthy opponent or you come across that overambitious one. Now it is true that some of you may want to use Warframe for dispersion enemies, however there are a lot of people who don't want to use Warframe. Maybe you want to bring your Kavad, you want to bring a different Sentinel. These frames are going to give you more of those things in their abilities and also in their augments. Now for my Rhino, you need the Iron Sharpener augment. This enables you to cast Iron Skin multiple times and then detonate it for some quick CC. With some max range mods, you can reach up to 25 meters in detonation radius, and the great thing about this is that you can recast Iron Skin if you casted it too early, mainly because Iron Skin scales based on damage that comes in at the time you cast it. It is also very useful, meaning that you can go into a room, see high level enemies, you can detonate and also recast it, and this also gives you a great chance to build up and also scale up as the levels of enemies increase. Now this also means that you will have to sacrifice a mod slot or two for another augment, but I'm sure you're going to be able to work your builds around that. Now for getting this augments, you can either get it from the Steel Meridian or you can get this from the parent sequence. My next one is going to be the Vexing Armor augment for Chroma, and this is one of my favorite as well. Now this lets you create some great debuff and some CC combination, regardless of the elements you select. Whenever you cast Vex Armor, a damage to your shields will cause a puncture proc, and also a damage to your health will cost a blast proc. Puncture procs in Warframe will debuff enemies and reduce their damage output, while the blast proc will give you a ragdoll or push enemies back or knock them down. Now the only downside to this augment is that it is not affected by range, therefore it can only be maxed at 9 meters. But if you want this augment, if you play Chroma a lot, you enjoy using Chroma, you can get it from Cephalon Suda or you can get it from the parent sequence. So that is also something that I would say a lot of you should check it out if you haven't tried it before. Now my third and last one is going to be Wukong with the Iron Jab. Wukong already has a little bit of a CC with Iron Jab, but the Iron Vault augments makes it much more better and also increase the damage and also the range on slam attacks. This augment will launch Wukong into the air whenever you jab the ground with your pole, and you can literally push an enemy out of the room or launch yourself backwards to prevent attacks. Now Wukong is already able to avoid this with Defy. You can become almost invincible, but sometimes it feels good to use its abilities, plus it also guarantees intense damage on a ground slam. And the only downside of this is that whenever you're within certain rooms in Warframe where the ceiling is very close to the ground, it will be much of a disadvantage because it is not going to work if you're trying to use the Iron Vault. However, if you're just trying to use the Iron Jab by itself, then that will still work. However, you will not be able to launch yourself into the air. Now all these abilities, all these augments can be bought from a trade chat as well as you can get it from your syndicates. Now if you're not aligned with a specific syndicate, instead of buying it, you can just ask a friend to get it for you, or you can ask some of your clanmates if you are in one. Now if I have to pick out of all these three, I will say the Rhino one was my favorite, mainly because of just the way it detonates and launches enemies out. In low levels, when you stack it up very well or you build it or cast it at the right time, it gets enough damage, and when you detonate it, it actually kills a lot of those enemies. It causes a huge AoE. So that's one of the really good things about it. Now when it comes to high levels, it will not kill them, but it will ragdoll them, give you a chance to get your bearings, get things together, reload, get some ammo, or even run away from the scene or get to extraction. So those are some of the things that you guys can see about these augments. If you haven't tried them or tested them out before, then this might be the best chance, or maybe this might be the right time for you to go ahead and try it out. You might actually love it. Now let me know down below what you guys like about these abilities, if you guys have a specific augment or some amazing castaway ability that you use that just knocks enemies down or throw them away, and also the main reason why you use them. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel for more Warframe. And as always, it is DA signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one.